Hey, good morning, everyone. This is the Morning Blitz Sports Talk Radio, and we are here today. We're going to get right into it. I'm sorry I am so late today. It was not done on purpose. It's just been one of those crazy mornings. So the NBA Summer League, the Hornets go undefeated. Oh my God. The Charlotte Hornets have clinched the 2025 NBA Summer League Championship with a perfect 6-0 run, defeating the Sacramento Kings 83-78. Ricky Stanhope and Tom Brown earned MVP honors, marking a promising glimpse into the Charlotte's future talent pool. I don't know about you, but the NBA Summer League doesn't give me any hope for the Charlotte Hornets in terms of the regular season. The NBA for tonight's Philly and Red Sox match in Philadelphia at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time has generated some buzz. The Red Sox hold a 54-47 record, 5 games back in the AL East. The Phillies lead a 56-43 strong at home with 31-18. The odds and betting lines analyzed ahead of first pitch. NFL offseason headlines. Current President Trump has reunited controversy, calling the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Gladiators to revert back to their former names, the Redskins and Indians, respectively, even threatening to block stadium development at RFK unless changes are made. That is some heavy stuff from our current president. The WNBA All-Star scene. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark battling a groin injury, stayed engaged at the NBA All-Star weekend, participating in the CBA discussions, fan events, and supporting teammates off the court. So other notable events at golf, the Scotty Scheffler secured his first Open Championship title at the Royal Flush, and darts, the PDC World Matchup, July 19th to the 27th. Blackpool is underway. 800K Euro prize fund. Defending champ Luke Humphreys returns. So let's go to the WNBA aspect here, okay? All right, let's talk dollars and cents, literally. A lot of folks ask, does the NBA actually fund the WNBA? Short answer, yes, big time. The NBA has been back in the WNBA since its launch in 1997. Reports say the NBA kicks in around 10 to 15 million a year to help cover costs. Everything from traveling and facility to league operations. And it makes sense the WNBA isn't still profitable. In fact, it's projected to lose 40 to 50 million this season alone. Now, does that mean the WNBA is failing? Not at all. It's growing and fast. They raised $75 million in outside investment just last year, and fan interest is prime, especially with stars like Caitlin Clark and Ajaya Wilson in the spotlight. But for now, the NBA is still the big brother with deeper pockets, keeping the WNBA running strong while it builds its future. So here is my pet peeve right here. I don't like the fact that the WNBA women athletes are running around with a t-shirt that says, pay us the money you owe us. They don't owe you nothing. Okay, you get endorsement deals. Believe it or not, because Caitlin Clark wasn't on the NBA, the All-Star game, tickets plummet. Yeah, they plummet. Prices had they had to lower the ticket prices because Clark was not in the All-Star game. That tells you the importance of her. So let's put it in hindsight. Let's say Caitlin Clark decides to protest, sit out the whole season for the CBA. You will not only lose the projected 40 to 50 million, but you are projected to already lose anyway. That you can kiss the WNBA and then a future expansion and whatever out the window. You do not, as an organization, have the funds to legitimately run WNBA all on your own. You just really don't. And the fact that you are delusional to think that you should be paid like the NBA players at this moment is ridiculous. Come back to me 5 years after Caitlin Clark is 5 years deep into her NBA career, and then tell me where you are on a financial level. Once that happens, then you guys can go back to the CBA table, get a bunch of your shit in order to discuss where you have to be. Right now, you guys are not even at the level that you think you're at. You should even demand NBA level like payment. Do I agree that it should be more balanced? Yes, I do. But until you're making a profit that, you know, that adds up to what you think you're worth, then I don't think there's a need to really push the narrative of paying what you always thought, because that is chronicle nonsense. Like it's crazy that they even think this, and it's borderline delusion. There is no way in God's green earth that any WWA should be making as much as the male counterparts because they play the sport elsewhere. You know, just like I'm not a fan of the NIL either. I think the NIL and NCAA ruined the concept of academic athletes. You know, let's be all honest here. If NCAA kept it academic based and they offered free, like let's say your program runs the table and they say, hey, let's do something different. Let's do something like if you guys do really well, we're gonna pay the whole team's rest of their a full ride, or at least give them money that they can survive off of. There's no reason for them to make millions of dollars before they sign into the NFL, or they have to finish a program before the NIL, and they should have boosters attempt to steal players, 5-star players from other colleges, like this is the NFL. Like it's very ridiculous right now, and I think the NIL was a horrible concept. I do believe players should be played for their likeness in video games. I do believe they should have sponsorship. They should be able to expect sponsors for such things as like if Nike set them up and all that. Like that should be what the NIL is. They should be allowed to have sponsors, not other schools giving them money. I think that it's the opposite of what they should be doing. And it is showing on the way these kids are treating NCAA in their colleges right now. And what's the point of the National Signing Day if we don't even know if Billy Joe's going to go to stay at ASU, but because freaking USC is offering him more money, so he jumps to the transfer portal and goes to USC. That's the equivalent of delusion right now that the WNBA has with their money situation. You are paid what the league is actually profiting in, and they're not profiting enough to give you guys equivalent to your male counterparts. It's humanly impossible at this moment, and that's where the problem lies. And I think that's what needs to be changed across the board. On other note, do I hate the fact that happens? Yes, immensely. I think it's absolutely bonkers that they are even allowed to have these concepts right now. Hold on right back. Hold on. I'm gonna check some notes right now. So, sorry about that, guys. I actually had to look up some paper stuff here. This is not going to be a long episode, unfortunately. There's a lot of stuff going on a personal note. Medical stuff. I actually got a phone call. I have to go, and it's been I have to go in like a couple of minutes, which is pretty unfortunate. It's supposed to start at 9:30, so let me speak. Try to get you guys sped up on things. I have cancer, so once in a while, if a blood work or a blood test comes in and it's really off or something, they will immediately rush me into to do a bunch of tests. So which is what. Now I have another phone call. I have to do another test. So it's like one thing after another, and I deeply apologize about rushing this episode. I'll be back on tomorrow, normal time, no issues. Um, it's like I said, unfortunately life happens, and my health is a number one priority to take care of in the circumstance. But let's go back on to the WNBA thing. The reason why this bothers me so much is like they don't take account of what they're doing. Okay, they do not understand that if it's not for the NBA, they would not be where they are right now. The expansions would never take place. Like a lot of the stuff would never happen otherwise. So for the granted, they managed to raise $75 million in outside investments, which is great for them. They need that. They need better TV deals. They need better endorsements. However, they want a big chunk of the revenue pie. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. If I'm the one that's run the CBA, I'll make it very clear to them. This is the deal. Give us 5 years. I know it's a lot to ask, but I think that's the way they have to approach it. You have to say, give us 5 years. If everything increases and we don't lose money, within 5 years, we'll increase your salary to equivalent to an NBA player on top of revenue sharing and possible sponsorship increasement. That's what needs to be offered at CBA. Stop kicking them around. Stop making them feel like they're worthless, because that's what the problem is. And that's where I have to say shame on the league. The league needs to know they're not dealing with men. I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing, but they're not dealing with people that properly understand the situation. Or they don't look at it from a woman's perspective. We have people that are invading their space, possibly, with a lot of issues. So now they feel like something that they're working hard for is not being properly constantly they're not getting the right amount of money. I'm sorry to say they don't. First of all, I don't appreciate how they've been bullying Caitlin Clark. So that's the other reason why I feel that they should wait 5 years. Like you don't even know how to properly treat your cash cow, your golden goose. I hate to say it, if it wasn't for her, you guys' increase in your money and your popularity would never been there. Some people would be like, well, Angel Reese, Angel Reese popularity next to being Sid from an Ice Age is not good. She's not good. Watch the comedian Aries. Aries tell you she's garbage. She can't play well. She can rebound. I mean, anyone can rebound. But she's not as talented as Caitlin Clark. And there's actually a couple of WNBA veterans that I always felt were far more talented than Angel Reese. And that goes right back to what I said. There is a big problem. And the problem is the players are currently there in the WNBA don't like the fact that there's someone that came in and actually put eyes on the sport, and it wasn't them. And that bothers them. And it should bother them. They've been in there long enough, and they couldn't get eyes. I remember one WNBA season, they just gave up playing. They were losing bad, and then they just casually, like, they didn't give a shit. That's why your ratings were so low, because at certain points, guys were so mentally defeated that the fans just were like, what is this shit? Click off. And that's what happened. You can't be like that. You're a professional athlete. You're putting your stake out there saying you guys deserve money equal to men. You can't do that if you're not putting in the same effort as the men are. You're telling people the opposite. And that's a big no-no in any profession. Big no-no. If you show self-defeat, no one's going to even look at you guys. Be in the same direction as you. And that's on you. That's not on anyone else. That's on you as an organization. That's on you as a league. And that's even worse if leagues are falling into that problem. If leagues are not stepping up and making it a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So that's where shit falls apart. And where does that go? How does that make it any better? You know what I'm saying? But I will have to say the way that I look at this all is that WNBA has some good foundation by raising that $75 million of outside investment. Proven to the NBA that they can do it, but they have to continue to grow. Once they can get it, and that's why I said just give yourselves 5 years. Give yourself 5 years. Give yourself 5 years. If nothing changes, or do a insensitive salary increase. If you don't lose money operational wise, you grow your popularity year after year, your salary increase. There has to be some give and take here. You can't expect getting paid NBA money if you're not making money enough to justify it. The NBA in the beginning didn't make a shit ton of money. Players were fucking paid peanuts and had to get jobs during the offseason. So you should be grateful enough you don't need to do that. All right? So the way I look at it is, when you go back to the negotiation tables, the NBA/WNBA need to come up with a progressive 5-year plan that shows the women that they will make equivalent money to NBA players by the time they reach that. That's what they need to do. Okay? On the Teddy Bridgewater thing, he has got fired and I think suspended and fined by the Florida Athletic Association, because what he did was against the Florida High School Athletic Association rules. Because it's, I guess, I don't remember what it was like labeled, but I'm going to be honest with you. I still think he should be praised for it. I mean, yes, against the rules. Yes, they did what they had to do following the rules, but you can't fault the state of Florida. Because if he does it, then they have to let everyone do it. It's the mindset, I'm assuming. And that's pretty rough, because I think Teddy Bridgewater should have been treated a lot different in that situation. And it just sucks that, he had to go that way. So, unfortunately, I have to go. I have a doctor's appointment. However, I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30. We'll be starting the morning Blitz Sports Talk at 9:30 moving forward, because it'll be easier in the event I get called and to do some doctor's appointments. Until then, you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for being part of my show, and I apologize